Securing Information Systems. Lecture 3 of ISM. Now here are the objectives. The need for security to guard information systems and data, as well as technology used in information systems. Now here we're looking, the opening case discusses the Boston Celtics and their problems with laptops. Right? Spyware infected the coaches, the recruiters and the other staff members' laptops at hotels. What can you do about this? Well, this case goes into what they did, and you must refer back to the case and look at your notes. This slide introduces the need for both security and controls in today's business in order to safeguard information systems. Slide number 5 discusses the main categories of threats to information systems. When a large amount of data is stored digitally on PCs and servers and in databases, they're vulnerable to many kinds of threats. What threats? And that's what you need to look at. Have you ever lost data on your PC? Well, why? How did you do it? Was it just stupid forgetting to save, or was it some sort of virus attack? These are the issues that companies are facing. The types of security threats over networks at which the threats are prevalent. Some problems occur on the client PC, others through network lines, corporate servers, hardware and software. And then this slide goes through all manner of problems from here, here, here and here. Types of threats: large public networks like the internet. Now these face difficulties because they're open to virtually anyone. The internet is so huge, when abuses do occur they can have enormous impact. And when the internet becomes part of a corporate network, the organization's information systems are even more vulnerable to actions from outsiders. And it points out to email attachments, email used for transmitting trade secrets. These are further worries. Security threats relating to wireless networks. Which particular wireless networks? LANs. 802.11 standard can be easily penetrated by others. Here it is. If you're armed with a laptop and stood outside the building, wireless cards, external antennae, you can be hacking what's happening inside the building. Hackers use these tools to detect unprotected networks, monitor network traffic, and in some cases gain access to the internet or to corporate networks. This graphic illustrates why wireless networks are vulnerable. The service identifies SSIDs, access point to Wi-Fi networks, are broadcast multiple times and can be picked up fairly easily by intruders with sniffer programs. As we can see here, there's a legitimate user and there's an intruder picking up between the two. The worst data theft ever. This interactive discussion session discusses massive theft of credit card and debit card information from database of TJX, a retail company which owns multiple popular retailers such as TJ Maxx and Marshalls. It illustrates how insecure wireless networks can open vulnerabilities to wired networks and widespread threats company systems face. Various types of malware threaten information systems. Have you ever had problems with viruses? How did you get infected? There are over 200 viruses and worms targeting mobile phones. Over the past 10 years, worms and viruses have caused billions of pounds of damage to corporate networks, email systems and data. Hackers, people who commit computer crime. What's the difference between hackers and crackers? Have you ever been a victim of PC crime, invasion of privacy? When you look at this illustration, you wonder what type of people are hackers. And this resembles a student. Now here's a discussion on different kinds of PC crimes. What is the ultimate purpose of spoofing and sniffing? There are legitimate uses of sniffing. Sniffing can help identify network trouble spots or spot criminal activity on the network. DOS. The text notes, in the first 6 months of 2007, security products provider Symantec observed over 5 million distinct bot-infected PCs. Bots and botnets are an extremely serious threat because they can be used to launch very large attacks using many different kinds of techniques. Legal definition of PC crime and identifies 2 ways PCs can be involved in crime. The text lists a variety of other examples for PCs as targets or as instruments of crime. 500 companies surveyed said they'd had loss of $350,000 each. However, many companies are reluctant to report PC crime because it makes them seem inefficient. Here's one. You recently changed your Facebook password. As a result, this notification has been sent to all email addresses associated with your account. If you did not change your password, your account may have been a victim of phishing. Follow the link and sort it out. Look at this. Identity theft. Phishing we just mentioned. Look at this. Phishing, Trojan, spam, virus. Some researchers recently stood outside the underground and asked people who passed through if they would be kind enough to give up their company's password for a ball pen. Surprisingly, a large number of people handed them over. Click fraud. Types of PC crime. Cyber criminals' activities are borderless. Right, so you can commit this crime from anywhere. there were a couple of New Zealanders committing crimes all over the world, sending out millions of emails a day. Here's the thing about passwords. People inside the company. We've already mentioned some who are not worried about giving out their company passwords for a ball pen. Of course, the researchers weren't able to go back to the company and see if the actual password that they were given was an actual password, or perhaps people were just giving out any word and getting a free pen. Difficult to know. Have you ever worked anywhere with a vulnerable password system? Have you ever revealed to anybody your own password? Alright, this slide looks at the security and other vulnerabilities caused by software errors which open networks to intruders. The text cites examples of a flaw in the software upgrade shutting down BlackBerry email service for 12 hours. What does it say? The cost to the US economy for software flaws runs at nearly $60 billion per year. Microsoft. Now Microsoft needed to send out a service pack to upgrade its operating system services software. Service Pack 1 for Vista included security enhancements to counter malware and hackers. The value of security and control to business. What types of data have tremendous value or require protection? The text gives the examples of individual confidential information, taxes, finances, medical records, job performance review, and high-value data, trade secrets, new product development, marketing strategies, government information. Give an example of how inadequate security and control can pose a serious legal liability. BJ Wholesale Club, which was sued by the US Federal Trade Commission for allowing hackers to access its system and steal credit and debit card data for fraudulent purchases. This slide continues the look at the business value of security and control, examining the legal requirements for electronic record management. What it's saying is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act imposes responsibility on companies and their management to safeguard the accuracy and integrity of financial information used internally and released externally. So the Sarbanes-Oxley Act comes out of the scandals of Enron and WorldCom and other public companies. This final slide this week looks at the business value of security and control. Security and control of electronic records management are essential today for responding to legal actions. The most common form of electronic evidence is email, and a firm is obliged to keep all email records for 5 years. Given the legal requirements for electronic records, it's important to have an awareness of PC forensics, and these should be incorporated into the firm's contingency planning problem. Okay.